and in the midst of all these big names. Let's hear from Rhoda, the maid. Abba Barnabas, you sang me my song again. After all these years, you remembered my lullaby, and you sang it, and you made me feel so good again. I have never stopped missing you. You found me crying, and I was surprised. I didn't know anyone was looking. Abba, you have a tender way, and such a kind voice in my ear. Rose, Rose, you sang, just like when I was 5. Rose, Rose, do you suppose I do not love your crooked nose? I do love all of you, from grin to gloom and head to shoe. It's such a simple song, but it goes straight to my heart. You remember, don't you, how I would cry, frightened of the night? I was always so scared, but you would come to my pallet and kneel down beside me and rest your head on my forehead and sing, Rhoda Rose, your eyelids close that I might kiss the two of those. And you did. Your big beard tickled all my face and you kissed my eyes, and then, oh Abba, how lovely you sang, sleep, sleep, and do not weep. The night is long, the dark is deep, but in my arm I hold my Rose, safe from harm until she grows too old, and comes to know what every father knows. I'm not too old yet, am I? I don't think I'm ready to hear the knowledge of the fathers. Maybe I don't want to know. Abba, you used to toss me so high in the sky that I would hiccup for happiness. You made mushrooms in my tummy. You made me fly. And when you caught me again, you laughed and laughed like the thunder above me. Why don't you laugh so much anymore? And then Titus. What a kick! What an honor! What a company! Me and all the others walking home in a crowd, much slower than how we first raced down to Jerusalem. Because then it was just the 3 of us, and Paul was grim about things, but now it's 9. And 2 of that is women, and they're in no rush, I can promise you that. But I mean, what a company! I look around through the rain of the day, and who do I see walking just in front of me? This is wonderful. It's Peter of the giant reputation, walking side by side with Paul. And you know the looseness of their bones, that they say they are happy. And I can tell you how happy that makes me feel. I'm grinning. My cheeks ache. That I should be included too? So Paul says something quick and fast, then Peter rears back and slaps him on the back, making the water fly, and I think he's going to knock little Paul forward on his face, but he's as quick with his feet as he is with his tongue. He skitters ahead, and soon he's ducking the swings of the big apostle, and that's the mood of almost everyone. We chatter and laugh together. Peter's wife is strolling behind me with another woman, and there's Philip talking with John Mark. Philip's going partway back with us, as far as Caesarea on the sea, but Peter and Miriam and John Mark and this other woman are going with us all the way to Antioch. I want to sing. I want to shout praises to Jesus right here on the road. When I saw Paul's face after that long meeting, that private meeting they had without us, when Paul came into my little sleeping room and woke me up with a candle flame and I saw his face, Lord Jesus, it was like sunrise in the middle of the night. He grabbed my hands and pulled me up and kissed me and said I was his son. He said that I was his child and his brother, exactly the way that I was. He called me a saint. And he did a little dance with me. He capered barefoot on my pallet, singing, though he's got no voice for it. Jesus, he picked up my heart and threw it to high heaven, and I flew, because I'm included too. So now, I see Barnabas walking pretty much alone at the back of the group. So I stand still in the rain and let him catch up, and then I fall in step with him and give him a punch on the shoulder. "What do you say?" I said, smiling. "What do you think about it all?" I can't help smiling. And he says, "Well, it's a change, that's for sure." And I say, "For sure." And then the words flow out of me. I feel so glad to be walking by him that I pour out the major thought on my mind. I say, "Barnabas, I'm going to give a feast." And he cocks his head sideways and looks down on me and says, and I say, "No, I really want to give a feast of Thanksgiving at my own house, my own food, my own money. Don't you think it's time?" But I don't wait to hear his answer. What can he say but yes? I just chatter away, saying, "I'm going to take my turn and invite the church to my place. So, Barnabas, I'm going to borrow embroidered cushions and good dishes, some wonderful silverware, and we'll have 3 courses. We'll start with salads and mushroom and eggs, and we'll have meat better than goat's meat, maybe mutton, maybe some sausages of spice and quality. My father always says that a banquet of any importance wants sausages to prove itself. But I'll tell you what," I said, punching his shoulder again. And this time I saw a grin hiding in that bush of a beard of his. So I slapped my thigh and I went on with gusto, "I'll tell you what. There's a dish rich Romans serve, a dish my father told me about called the Shield of Minerva. It's the most expensive salad, greens and onions and artichokes. But then you add the livers of charfish and the brains of pheasants and the brains of peacocks and the tongues of flamingos and the entrails of lampreys. What do you think of that?" And so here's the thing. I got Barnabas to laugh. We're walking along as wet as fish, and our friends are wet before us, laughing together. What a day. What a happy day. So I say, "Barnabas, what do you think? Will you come to my house for dinner?" And he puts his big hand on my shoulder and squeezes it. "Yes," he says, "yes."